Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another HF Viking baseball broadcast. I'm Dylan Barnes. I'm going to be calling this game and all others throughout the rest of this season. Today, the HF Vikings are going to be taking on their crosstown rival, Marian Catholic. The Spartans are 15-15 on the year. They're coming off of a 10-3 loss at the hands of Ileana Christian. The Vikings are 17-15. They're coming off of an 8-5 loss at the hands of Lincoln Way East, a team that they beat in walk-off fashion on Monday. Both of these teams are 2-3 on the year. And on the bump today for the Vikings, a man who wasn't expected to be a pitcher this year, Nico Bilgi. He's been one of the better arms in the Vikings rotation. His last start against a very good St. Rita team, he went 6 innings pitched, allowed 3 runs on 7 hits, walked only 1, and struck out 5. His battery mate is Josh Moore. The defense behind him is Jacob Gunn at third, Rob Tate at short, Corey Mulling at second, and Elijah Rainey at first. Behind them in the outfield is Isaiah White in left, Dylan Head in center, and Jason Ballard in right. Leading off the game for the Spartans is their center fielder, Ezra Essex. He'll take strike 1 on the outside corner from Bilgi, and that is how this ball game is going to get underway. Bilgi works quickly when there's no runners on. Another breaking ball on the outside corner, strike 2. Very quickly, Bilgi is up in the count 0-2. Here's the 0-2 to Essex. Low and out, ball 1. Not a bad pitch right there on an 0-2 count. He had a pitch to give. He's still ahead in the count 1-2. That one's just barely tipped foul off of catcher Josh Moore. Count is still a ball and 2 strikes. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Bilgi starts the game off right with a strikeout of Essex. That's the first out of the first inning for Lloyd Mills, the left fielder.
Number 3, Lloyd Mills.
Nico Bilgi's on pace for a 21 strikeout perfect game. Good start. 0-1 to Mills. Fouled off third base side. 0-2 to Mills now. Bilgi has already thrown a no-hitter this year. It was a no-hitter on senior night for the Vikings. 1-0 win against Bradley. 0-2. Mills checked his swing. 1-2 now. That walk-off, that no-hitter for Nico Bilgi, I just spoiled what I was going to say. It was a walk-off, too. 1-2. High chopper over the head of Bilgi. Mulling's going to have to charge it. Tate will take it. And that's going to be an infield single for Lloyd Mills. A high chopper. That one went about 25, 30 feet in the air, and when it came down, Mills was already about 10 feet away from first base. So it's a 1-out single for Mills. And Kevin Denty will come to the dish with a man on first and 1 out. Now with the runner on, Bilgi will have to slow things down. First pitch to Denty. Awkward swing for strike 1. Denty tried to check it up, but he was already past the threshold. 0-1. Pick off. Mills able to dive in safely. Another pickoff. Once again, Mills safe at first. Oh, 1 to Denty. Lined into the right center field gap. Head going over, and he'll make the catch. That one just held up there a little bit too long for Dylan Head. He ambled on over to make a routine catch. So now 2 outs in the inning for the right fielder, Jonah Weathers. Weathers will try and advance or potentially score Mills, who's on first after his one-out single. Another pickoff attempt. Nothing. It's worth noting that this is not HF's or Marian's field. It's Ozinga Field, the home of the Windy City Thunderbolts. Swing and a miss from Weathers, 0-1. This is the Do It Stevie's Way tournament, the last pool play game for the Vikings. They'll have either a consolation game if they lose, or they'll make the bracket play if they win. We'll have to see how that goes. Swing and a miss at another dirty curveball from Bilgi, 0-2. Bilgi's got that hard curveball, and he's ahead in the count, 0-2 to Weathers. 0-2. Tapped. Tate's able to make the play out in short. Bilgi able to work around a one-out single off the bat of Mills, and he gets through the first unscathed. So going into the bottom half of the first, it's 0-0. Going into the bottom of the first inning, it's 0-0 after a 1-2-3-4 first inning. A single off the bat of Lloyd Mills was stranded. On the bump today for the Spartans, Mitchell Stanton, the righty. He'll be throwing to A.J. Kwasnicka, the catcher. The defense behind Stanton is Kevin Denty at third, Nick Mangano at short, Parker Engel at second, and Evan Dwyer at first. The outfield for the Spartans is Lloyd Mills in left, Ezra Essex in center, and Jonah Weathers in right. Coming to bat to lead off the ball game is Dylan Head. Head went 2 for 3 with an RBI and 2 runs scored against East. Head's batting average is now .489 on the year, the HF record set in 2002's .505. That's ball one from Stanton. Head was batting .508 prior to an 0 for 4 outing on Monday against Lincoln Way East. He'll take ball two outside from Stanton. 2-0 is the count ahead. Just off the outside corner, 3-0 now. Leadoff walk is never a good thing for the pitcher, especially when that leadoff walk is Dylan Head. There's strike one on the outside corner. So Stanton able to avoid that leadoff walk, at least for that pitch, but he's still behind 3-1. That's strike two on the inside corner. Head thought it was ball four. So he'll come back and bat with a full count now to lead off the bottom of the first. Full count from Stanton. Lined down the left field line. Mills giving a chase, and he'll watch it fall in foul territory. Count Count is still full. First time Head is swung, and that at bat was that foul ball right there. 3-2. Lined, grounded into right center field. Weathers able to cut it off and cut Head to a single, but it's a leadoff single for Dylan Head, and there's a man on first for Corey Mulling. That also helps Head's attempt to break the batting average record. A 3-for-3 day would likely have him above 500 again, probably around that 505 mark. First pitch to Mulling. Head takes off. That's way outside throw from Kwasnicka. There will be no throw. So Head swipes his 28th bag of the year, just 7 shy of a record he set last year. He's got 35. He got 35 bags last year. 1-0 is the count to Mulling. Ball 2 outside yet again. Mulling against Lincoln Way East yesterday was 1 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. (2-0) from Stanton. Head takes off for third yet again. Throw from Kwasnicka is not in time. Head steals his 29th bag of the year. And just like that, go-ahead run in the bottom of the first inning is 90 feet away. Count is 2-1 on Mulling. All he needs to do is put a ball in play, and the Vikings will have an early 1-0 lead. 2-1. That's way out. 3-1. So Stanton having some control issues here in the first. He's gone to a 3-ball count with each of the first 2 hitters. Head singled on a full count. Here's the 3-1 to Mulling. That's way outside. Good block by Kwasnicka to keep that one in front of him. But it's back-to-back base runners to start the first for Jason Ballard.
Number 5, Jason Ballard.
Ballard probably had the best day at the plate for any Vikings hitter yesterday. He went 3 for 4 with a double and 3 RBIs. He's got Head on third, Mulling on first, and nobody out in the first. First pitch from Stanton. At the knees, strike 1. Stanton shakes, takes a look at Mulling. Now he agrees with Kwasnicka. 0-1, low and away in the dirt. 1-1 is the count to Ballard. Surprised we haven't seen Mulling take off for second yet. Might happen on this pitch. Because with Head on third, I doubt that the Spartans are going to throw through fully to second base. It might be a cutoff by Mangano, the shortstop, or Engel, the second baseman. Tipped into the mitt of Kwasnicka. 1-2 now. So after back-to-back base runners started the bottom of the first, Stanton has Ballard 1-2. 1-2 to Ballard. Mulling takes off on this pitch. That's high and out. Throw is into center field. Head's going to score. Mulling is going to stand on third. And it's a 1-0 lead for the Vikings. There appeared to be some confusion between Engel and Mangano on who was going to cut off the throw. Engel was a bit in front of the second base bag, but he didn't put a glove on it, and Mangano apparently thought that he was going to, because he just sort of stood there and watched the ball fly right by him. But it's a run for the Vikings, and now Ballard will try and drive in Mulling from third. He'll tip that one foul, staying alive with a 2-2 count. Two balls, 2 strikes. Here's a pitch from Stanton. Grounded foul. Shadows not a factor in this one yet, but as the day progresses, we could see those shadows overtake the mound and the plate, create some issues for batters seeing the ball, but not currently. That's low and away, 3-2. Once again, a 3-ball count. Stanton's gone to a 3-ball count with all 3 batters he's faced so far. It's a walk for Ballard. Back-to-back walks have the Vikings with runners on first and third once again.
Number 10, Preston Lund.
Preston Lund will bat against Stanton, but not before a chat from the Spartans pitching coach. Stanton has yet to get an out in the first. Head greeted him with a leadoff single into right field. He then stole second and third while Corey Mulling was at the dish. Mulling later walked, and then you saw Mulling steal second, and then the throw was up into center field. So that scored Head and put Mulling to third. That's where we are currently after Ballard's walk. So the DH, Preston Lund, will come to the dish. Lund is DHing for third baseman Jacob Gunn. We've seen that in each of Nico Bilgi's starts this year. Bilgi is the only two-way player on the Vikings roster. He can swing it and he can sling it. First pitch to Lund is a pickoff attempt. Safe at first is Ballard. Dwyer couldn't put the tag on him. It was a good move by Stanton. Caught Ballard with his weight shifted towards second. Preston will try and drive in Mulling from third. First pitch he sees. Long hold by Stanton. Now here's a pitch. That's just in. 1-0. Ball and no strikes to Lund. Pickoff attempt. Ballard able to dive into first. That one was not as close as the first one. Pitch from Stanton. Pickoff attempt. Ballard able to evade the tag by putting his hand on the base. So not really evading it. He still got tagged, but he was safe at first. Will Lund see a pitch? Yes, he will. It's in the dirt. It's ball 2. Lund way ahead in the count. 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0. Breaking ball on the outside third. 2-1. Very, very rarely do you see a 2-0 breaking ball, especially in high school. When you get to the majors, you'll see it a few times, a bit more than in high school, but in high school that's pretty rare, because if you don't have command of your fastball, that likely means you don't have command of anything. But Stanton was able to drop that one in for a strike. Count is 2-1 now. Lund takes that one just high. 3-1 now. Three balls and a strike. That's low. It's the 3rd straight walk for Vikings batters, and it loads the bases for Isaiah White. White went 0 for 2 with 2 walks and a run scored against Lincoln Way East. He's in a big spot right here to start this one. Can give the Vikings a big lead. Just one swing of the bat. Mulling on third, Ballard on second, Lund on first. First pitch he'll see is outside, ball one. Stanton has gone to a 3-ball count with all 4 hitters he's faced. He's only faced 4, even though it feels like the Vikings have been batting for about 20 minutes now. White will fly one into shallow left. Mills coming in. He'll watch it fall in front of him. It's going to be a single, and only a single for Isaiah White. And all runners move up 90 feet as they all had to sort of freeze and watch Mills, seeing if he was going to get to it. He did not. So it's 2-0 Vikings, and the bases are still loaded.
Number 4, Elijah Rainey.
Elijah Rainey, the first baseman, comes to the dish with the bases still packed with Vikings. He'll take strike one on the outer third. Still nobody out in the first. 0-1 from Stanton. Breaking ball that Rainey tipped foul. 0-2 now. Spartans bullpen is already getting loose. Not throwing with a sense of urgency though, but definitely throwing. Here's the 0-2 to Rainey. Swing and a miss. Rainey strikes out on 3 pitches for the first out of the first inning. It'll send Josh Moore to the plate with the bases still loaded and 1 out.
Joshua Moore.
Moore did not play against Lincoln Way East yesterday. He and Chris Webb are swapping in and out of the lineup. You'll see another first pitch breaking ball from Stanton. Second straight batter that Stanton has started with a breaking ball. It's 0-1 now. If Moore can split a gap, potentially 3 runs come across for the Vikings as Isaiah White on first has wheels. He squares bunt, takes strike 2 on the outside corner. Moore didn't like it. Oh and 2 is the count to Moore. Stanton struck out Rainey on 3 pitches. Moore trying not to be the second straight victim of a 3-pitch K. Moore calls time. Oh and 2 is the count. Here's a pitch from Stanton. Breaking ball off the plate. Throw to first. White able to dive in safely. Oh, that was strike 3 to Moore. I thought that one was going to be outside, but it is not. Moore goes down on strikes for the second out of the first inning. For Nico Bilgi, the pitcher, trying to help his own cause. He'll come to the dish with the bases loaded and 2 outs now. He'll take ball 1 inside from Stanton. Good block by Kwasnicka behind the plate, keeping that one in front of him and keeping Ballard at third. Bilgi went 0 for 3 against Lincoln Way East yesterday. He struck out all 3 times, so I'm sure he's looking to end that skid right here. Right center field is wide open for Bilgi. Essex is playing almost directly behind Mangano at short. So if Bilgi can split a gap, he'll be able to run for days. That's low and in one more time. It's 2-0. So after 5 straight started the inning on base for the Vikings, Stanton has settled down, struck out Rainey and Moore on just 6 pitches. He's behind 2-0 to Bilgi now. Nowhere to put him. Bases are still loaded. Bilgi tips that one foul, 2-1. Not a bad hack right there on 2-0. Bilgi was looking to clear all the bases. Two balls and a strike. Here's a pitch from Stanton. Bilgi tips it foul yet again, 2-2. After the bases were loaded with just nobody out, only a single run coming across for the Vikings would be about the last outcome they would have wanted. One run came across when the bases weren't loaded. So that's why it's a 2-0 lead, not a 1-0 lead. And that one's roped into right field, but right at Weathers. He'll make the catch to end the first inning. The Vikings do get two, so after one, they lead it 2-0. Nico Bilgi back out on the hill, but with a 2-run lead in this inning. He only allowed one hit in the top of the first. It was a Lloyd Mills infield single that bounced about 30 feet in the air. Bilgi will take the hill and start the second with Justin Hart, DH, for the Spartans. Hart will ground one towards Gunn at third. A nice pick and a nice play by Jacob Gunn to start the second.
Number 4, Nick Mangano.
So after a one-pitch ground out to Hart, Nick Mangano will step in. The bat was still in the field of play, so Josh Moore moved it. First pitch to Mangano. Swing and a miss. 0-1. It was a fine play by Jacob Gunn to start the second. It was a bouncing ball that he had to charge on the short hop. Just off the plate, 1-1. But he had to either choose between staying back for the long hop or coming in and charging it to field it on the short hop. He chose correctly on the short hop. There's strike two on the outside corner. Ball and 2 strikes now to Mangano. One, two. Swing and a miss. Moore will throw to Rainey, and that will be the second out of the second inning. It's Nico Bilgi's second strikeout. And it will send the catcher, A.J. Kwasnicka, to the plate, trying to avoid a 1-2-3 second inning. Kwasnicka flares the first pitch he sees into center field. Head will put up the brakes on and watch it fall in front of him. A 2-out single for Kwasnicka. For Evan Dwyer, the first baseman. So Bilgi has allowed exactly one hit in each inning so far. He'll try and keep that streak alive against Evan Dwyer. That's tipped foul, 0-1. Oh and 1 to Dwyer. Bilgy trying to strand a runner on first for the second straight inning. Ooh, or he could just pick him off. It was close over there at first.
The courtesy runner is Grant Durham.
Grant Durham. Courtesy runner almost got picked off. And now Dwyer is behind in the count, 0-2 to Bilgy.
At bat is number 18, Evan Dwyer.
0-2. Another pickoff attempt. Durham able to be safe at first. 0-2 pitch to Dwyer. It hits him. It was a curveball that just hit Dwyer's back foot when it broke. Hit by pitch sends Durham to second and Dwyer to first.
Number 10, Parker Engel.
For the last hitter in the Spartans lineup, Parker Engel. Engel swings through. First pitch he sees from Bilgy, 0-1. Now. So Bilgy trying to strand two runners in the second. He's got Engel, 0-2. Can he put him away? That's lined over the head of Gunn into left field. Isaiah White's up with it. Here's the throw. Home, and it gets away from Josh Moore. One run scores for the Spartans, and both runners move up an extra base. It's a run-scoring single for Parker Engel. And the Spartans cut the lead in half. It's 2-1 now. It turns the lineup card over for Ezra Essex, center fielder. Essex struck out to start the ball game in the first. Another one of those would be greatly appreciated. Tap that one foul, 0-1. So Bilgy's gotten ahead to pretty much every batter he's faced. Just been a matter of putting them away. That's upstairs, 1-1. Not a bad spot right there from Bilgy. Didn't get the call, however. 1-1. Same spot pretty much. 2-1 now. That one might have been a little bit higher than the 0-1. Count is now 2 balls and a strike to Essex. I'll take ball 3 in the dirt. First base is unoccupied, so if Bilgy wants to walk Essex to get to Mills, he can. 3-1 pitch from Bilgy. Fastball tipped foul. It's full now. Bilgy trying to end this second inning. He got the first 2 batters out, but now 2 singles and a hit by pitch later. Strike 3. Essex strikes out for the second time today, and it ends the second. It strands 2 for the Spartans. And going to the bottom of the second, the Vikings looking to add to their 2-1 lead. Rob Tate will start the bottom of the second for the Vikings. The shortstop was the only batter who did not come to the plate in the bottom of the first against Mitchell Stanton. Stanton started with 5 straight base runners in the bottom of the first. He then settled down and got the next 3 outs on 3 batters. So here's the first pitch Tate will see eventually, as somebody stepped out. Or I think Stanton stepped off the rubber. Now here's the pitch. It's low and away for ball 1. Tate went 0 for 2 against Lincoln Way East yesterday. That's tipped foul. 0-1. 1-1, excuse me. Once again, right center field is wide open for Tate. That's up and in. 2-1. We saw Tate get hit by one of those up and in pitches yesterday. It was off the back shoulder. He turned the wrong way and got nailed by it. That's popped up first base side, hooking, and will be caught by Evan Dwyer right in front of the Marian dugout for the first out of the second inning. It turns the lineup card over for Dylan Head. The center fielder singled to right center field and then stole 2 bases. He also scored the first run of the Vikings day. He'll look to start things for the Vikings here in the second. That's in. 1-0. That's above the zone, 2-0 now. Not a bad spot right there from Stanton. Didn't get the call, however. 2-0 pitch. That's low. It's 3-0 now. Stanton started Head 3-0 in the first as well. Then battled back to full before Head singled. That's pretty much how Stanton started to battle back. It was a fastball on the outside corner for strike 1. It's the same thing here in the second. 3-1. Fouled off. Now it's full for the second time today against Head after starting 3-0. Head will try and be the first base runner for the Vikings in the second, looking to answer the Spartans. That's roped right back up the middle, and Essex will watch that fall in front of him. It's a 2 for 2 day for Dylan Head, and he continues to hit baseballs very hard. The ball was smoked up the middle. Head stole 2 bases when he was aboard in the first. Wonder if he's trying to add potentially 2 more. Corey Mulling walked in the first. He later came around to score. Pickoff attempt. Head safe at first. That ball gets away, but not far enough for Head to take second. So now Head just 6 stolen bases shy of his own record that he set last year of 35. He can add his 30th when he's steals second right here. No. That's pickoff attempt. I tried to predict it. I can sometimes. I haven't predicted anything in a while. I'll try to. It's not going to be the first pitch. And that one gets away, so it won't be any pitch, as Head is going to be stopped at second base. So he could steal third, but I doubt that he will. I mean, he did in the first, so who knows. But either way, Corey Mulling will have a runner in scoring position. He'll try and drive Head in, extend the Vikings' lead. That's way outside. 1-0. 1-0 pitch to Mulling. That's up. It's 2-0 now. Head was dancing around off second. Potentially got in the head of Stanton. Two balls, no strikes to Mulling. Pickoff attempt, nothing. That throw was to the it was to the first base side of second base. So count is still 2-0 to Mulling. Head is out there for him. Head takes off for third. That's in the dirt. Throw from Kwasnicka. Not in time. And there's his 30th. Dylan Head swipes his third bag of today. And his 30th of the season. So he's just 5 shy of tying his own record. 6 shy of setting a new one. And it's 3-0 to Mulling. I would be shocked if he swings. He didn't, but he saw a strike. It's 3-1 now. A ball in play is all Mulling needs to do to plate Head. 3-1 pitch. He fouls that one back. It's full now. Full count to Mulling. Head just 90 feet away. 3-2. Outside, it's ball 4. It's the second walk of Corey Mulling's day. And it will send Jason Ballard to the plate with runners on the corners and 1 out. Ballard also walked in the first. It was the second of 3 walks in a row for the Vikings. Mulling, Ballard, and the man who's on deck, Preston Lund, also walked in the first. Ballard was stranded on third after his walk. Strike 1, and that throw from Kwasnicka is way high, and Dylan Head scores from third. It was a delayed steal from Mulling. And it extends the Vikings' lead back to what it was after 1. It's a 2-run lead. Count is 0-1 to Ballard now. Oh, 1 pitch. Breaking ball that is tipped foul. 0-2. A delayed steal from the Vikings. We've seen that a few times. It hasn't worked as well as it did right there, with both Mulling and Head being advanced to base and Head scoring. Usually just the catcher holds it. Pump fakes maybe. 0-2 to Ballard. Hit out into right field. Weathers giving it chase. Mulling will tag. Here's a throw. It's not in time. Mulling advances 90 feet on Ballard's fly out, and he's 90 feet away for Preston Lund. Preston Lund walked in the first.
Number 10, Preston Lund.
So that's twice now that Dylan Head has scored after Corey Mulling tries to steal second. So a bit of aggressiveness on the base paths have given the Vikings a 3-1 lead. 1-0 to Lund. Jam shot, foul territory. Dwyer giving it chase, and it will fall in foul territory. That was right in off the hands of Lund. It evens the count at 1-1. Ball and a strike. breaking ball there from Stanton. 1-2. Kwasnicka thought that it was strike 3. He was ready to flip the ball back to the mound and jog off the field. He'll have to catch at least one more pitch. 1-2 from Stanton. Fouled back. Still 1-2. Lund trying to drive in Mulling from second. Excuse me, Mulling from third in the second. One, two. That's low. 2-2 now. Good block by Kwasnicka. Two balls, two strikes. Lund pokes one into right field, and it's going to be past the stretched glove of Weathers. And it's an RBI single for Preston Lund, and it extends the Vikings' lead to 3. Weathers almost made the play, but it just barely was out of reach.
Number 15, Isaiah White.
Isaiah White hit an RBI single into left field in the first inning. It scored the second run of the Vikings' day at the time. First pitch to White. Tipped foul. 0-1. The first 4 batters in the Vikings lineup have combined to only get out once in their 8 at-bats today. 4 walks and 3 singles. There's strike 2 to White. 0-2 is the count now. Here's the 0-2 from Stanton. Long hold. Now here's a pitch. Tipped foul. Good fight. Count is still 0-2 to White. Here's a pitch from Stanton. Jam shot over the head of Dwyer. It's going to fall. Lund's going to be waved to third. And he's going to be held up at third. That one almost got by Weathers in right. He overran it a bit. But it's a jam shot single for Isaiah White. He's 2 for 2 on the day. It extends the inning to Elijah Rainey, who struck out in the first. Good piece of hitting right there from Isaiah White. An inside-out swing. Just nestled it right in the pocket where Engel, Dwyer, and Weathers couldn't make a play on it. He'll try and drive in Lund from third, potentially White from first. That is a pump fake. Throw almost gets Lund, and he's going to score. The pump fake got Lund to bite, but Kwasnicka's throw was too low, and Kevin Denty couldn't scoop it out of the dirt. Lund was off to the races anyway. He probably would have scored. 5-1 is the score now, and now White is on second. Absolute clinic on the bases so far for the Vikings. On the ground, past Denty at third. White is going to be waved around. Here's the throw from Mills. It's going to be to second. The run does score for the Vikings, and the ball comes out of Engel's glove. It's another RBI single for the Vikings, and it extends their lead to 5. That's probably an error on Denty, but he never touched it, so it can't be an error. And that looks like it's going to be it for Stanton. So as he departs, we'll step out. Only difference is we will be back with more baseball. New pitcher in the game for the Spartans is the lefty Josh Davis. He'll face the Josh in the Vikings lineup, Josh Moore, the catcher. He struck out in the first. He'll come to the plate with Elijah Rainey on second and 2 outs. That's ball 1 way outside. A 4-run bottom of the second chased starter Mitchell Stanton. 1-0 to Moore. Outside yet again, 2-0. Moore flies the 2-0 pitch into center field. Essex calling for it, and he'll make the catch. It ends an 8-batter, 4-run bottom of the second inning. And through 2, the Vikings hold a 5-run lead over Marian Catholic. Nico Bilgi starts Lloyd Mills, the leadoff man, in the third with a strike. Start him with another strike as that one was fouled back. It's 0-2 now to Mills very quickly. To Mills. That's high, 1-2. Mills hit a high chopper on the infield for an infield single in the first inning. It probably bounced off home plate. It's way outside, 2-2. It hit home plate and then bounced all the way out near second base. 2-2. Grounded to Gunn at third, and he can't come up with it. It's going to go E5 and a leadoff base runner for the Spartans. Kevin Denty, the third baseman, lined to center field in the first.
Kevin Denty.
First pitch from Bilgi. At the knees, strike one. Ground ball double play would be appreciated by the Vikings right about now. That's fouled back. It's 0-2. Bilgi way ahead, 0-2. Pickoff attempt. Mills safe at first. Another pickoff attempt. Mills safe at first. Once again. Still 0-2 to Denty. Here's a pitch. Just out. 1-2 now. Good spot right there from Nico. Mills takes off. That's what is grounded. Mulling knocks it down. It knocks it out of his reach. So Mills is able to move up to third. It was a hit and run that worked well for the Spartans. They've got runners on the corners and nobody out in the third.
Number 5, Jonah Weathers.
Right fielder Jonah Weathers lined to short in the first. That ended the first. The Vikings hold a 5-run lead, but as we saw, leads are not safe. Against Bolingbrook, they had a 12-1 lead and then lost that game 16-14. It's grounded just foul. 0-1. Bilgi ahead in the count, 0-1 to Weathers. Takes off. Denty does. Throw is not in time. So Denty swipes second. Mills did not take off from third. Very rare that we see a throw go all the way through to second and then the runner on third doesn't at least attempt to score. But it's 1-1 to Weathers now. Fouled off. Ball and 2 strikes is a count to Weathers. Bilgi's had all batters this inning in a 2-strike count. And he hits Weathers. Well, they'll say he leaned into it. I believe, yes, that's what it is. Leaned into it. So it's going to be ball 2. So now we'll have some confusion. Well, not confusion, just discussion. Count is 2-2 after all that. Would be pretty funny if Weather strikes out right here. Just going to say that. 2-2. He does strike out. Marian fans not too happy about that one, but since I'm an HF fan, I'm kind of happy about it. It's the first out of the third. For Justin Hart. He grounds one up the middle. Diving by Rob Tate. Comes up empty. Throw from head. It keeps Denty at third, but it's an RBI single for Hart. It cuts the lead to 4 for the Vikings. Nick Mangano, the shortstop, comes to the plate now with runners on the corners and 1 out. Mangano struck out in the second. First pitch, strike 1 at the knees. Ground ball to one of the middle infielders right here will be big for Bilgi. Double play ends the inning. That's pass, gun at third. It's going to roll all the way into the corner. At least 1 run's going to come in. Hart's going to be waved around. Mangano is going to be safe at third. A 2 RBI triple cuts the Vikings lead to 2 now. It sends AJ Kwasnicka out of the Vikings dugout. Excuse me, not AJ Kwasnicka. Vince Davis out of the Vikings dugout. AJ Kwasnicka will be the batter. Kwasnicka singled to center. His last time up, he was stranded. So a little bit of a laborious third inning for Bilgi now. He still has the lead, but the tying run is at the plate. So after that pretty brief meeting from Vince, Bilgi will face Kwasnicka with 1 out. Swing and a miss, 0-1. It's outside, 1-1. Bilgi needs to get this out right here. This will be a big second out. Tipped foul, 1-2. Got Kwasnicka to be way out in front of a curveball. One and two. Strikeout here will be big. Kwasnicka calls time, steps out. 1-2. Checked his swing. Yes, he did. A run's going to score, and Kwasnicka is going to advance to first base. A run-scoring strikeout. And it's a 1-run lead. Mangano scored on the pass ball from Josh Moore. And it sends Evan Dwyer to the dish, representing the go-ahead run.
Number 18, Evan Dwyer.
Dwyer was hit by a pitch in the second inning. It was a back foot curveball that hit his back foot. It was on a 1-2 count. Kwasnicka takes off, and it was a good pitch to run on. It was in the dirt. Bilgi having some trouble here in the third. If he leaves with the lead, I'm sure that's all he cares about. 1-0 to Dwyer. Fouled off right field line. A ball and a strike is a count to Dwyer. He'll try and drive in courtesy runner Durham from second. One pitch. Low and away, 2-1. Three balls and a strike is a count to Dwyer. Bills are trying to work out of a jam. It's strike 2 on the outside corner. Good pitch there. Count is full now. An out right here would be big because it would guarantee if you get the next batter out, you don't have to face the top of the order. One hop rocket to Mulling at second. He's up with it, and he'll make the play. Second out of the third inning for Parker Engel, the second baseman. He singled to left field. It scored the first Marian run of the day. Try and drive in Durham from third to score the 6th run of the Spartans' day. He'll pop that one foul, not a play. 0-1. This would be a big out to get, because then you would start the 4th inning with the top of the lineup and nobody on. 0-1. Breaking ball on the outside corner, strike 2. Great pitch there from Bilgi. See if he can put him away. 0-2, 2 outs. Here it is. Breaking ball on the outside corner, just off it. 1-2. Just about everybody on the field thought that was strike 3. Bilgi still ahead, 1-2. And it hits Engel right in the back. It's Bilgi's second hit by pitch of the day, and both have come on a 1-2 count.
Number 1, Ezra.
Top of the lineup comes to the plate now in the form of Ezra Essex. Center fielder struck out twice today. He struck out to start the first and end the second. Engel able to dive into first. First pitch to Essex. Another pickoff attempt. Breaking ball in the dirt. Good block by Moore. 1-0 is the count. Pitch as Essex calls time before it is delivered. Vikings came into this inning up 6-1. They're now only up 1. 6-5 ball game. Engel able to dive safely into first. That's upstairs. 2-0 now. Here's a 2-0 to Essex. At the knees, strike one. Two balls and a strike. Essex trying to avoid being the final out of the third inning. Pickoff attempt. Engel was leaning the wrong way. Rainey thought he had him. So now Rainey is going to fix his glove. The ball was stuck in his webbing, so he had to retie it, just tighten it. 2-1 to Essex. Another pickoff attempt. Still safe over there at first is Engel. 2-1. Engel takes off. That's hit down the right field line and out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes now. Billy trying to end the second like he did, end the third like he did the second. And he will. A strikeout of Ezra Essex ends the third, but the Spartans get 4 back, and after 2.5, it's a 1-run ball game. Nico Bilgi, the pitcher, will start things in the bottom of the third. He allowed 4 runs in the top of the third. He'll try and start things for the Vikings to help get at least some of those runs back. He lined to right field to end the first inning, his first time up. He'll face Josh Davis. Breaking ball has Davis ahead, 0-1. Man, look at that right center field gap. Essex is playing Bilgi to go opposite field. Just off the plate. 1-1. Another breaking ball spins in there. Strike two. Bilgi trying to avoid being a leadoff out. It's low and out. 2-2. Count is even now. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's a pitch from Davis. Breaking ball that Bilgi tried to check a swing on. It bounced to the backstop. Kwasnicka will throw. Not in time. And Bilgi is aboard. Another productive strikeout. And I believe Josh Davis said that, oh, it wasn't a swing. It might be the first time that a pitcher has ever wanted a no swing call.
Number 2, Robert Tate.
Rob Tate, the shortstop, popped in foul territory to Evan Dwyer, the first baseman.
Number 23, Chris Webb is the courtesy runner.
Takes strike one on the outside corner. Chris Webb, courtesy runner for Nico on first. 0-1 to Tate. It's a pickoff move. One to Tate, squared bunt, fouled it back. It's 0-2 now. Denty was playing a bit in at third base, so Tate probably was trying to put that down first base. 0-2 is the count to Tate. Here's a pitch from Davis. Swing and a miss. Gets away from Kwasnicka. Webb puts the brakes on. So Tate strikes out for the first out of the third.
Number 1.
It turns things over for the top of the lineup. And Dylan Head. Head's 2 for 2 today. He's singled twice. Once to right, once to center. He's stolen 3 bases today and scored both times he's been on base. Partially due to the fact that he's been on third base within about 5 pitches of Corey Mulling being up to the plate. He'll tip that one foul. 0-1. Right center field is wide open, and Head can run for days. That's low. 1-1. If Head hits one, maybe to that second sign, right of center. I don't know if you can make it out, but it's a water company sign. If he hits it right there, I think he'll run for a while. That one's past Dwyer at first. It will be cut off by Weathers, and the throw will be to second. So Chris Webb will stop at third. It's Head's third single of the day. He's 3 for 3. He's coming for that average title. He's singled in all 3 innings. And Corey Mulling has walked twice today. He's came around to score both times. He'll bat now with runners on the corners. 1 down here in the third. Ball and a strike. Excuse me. No pitch to Mulling. Don't know why I said that. Mulling lines one over the head of Denty. At least one run's going to score. Head's going to be waved to third. He's going to have to be held up. It's an RBI double for Corey Mulling. And the Vikings extend their lead. It's 7-5 now. Jason Ballard comes to the plate now. He flied to right his last time up and then walked in the first. He's got 2 runners in scoring position. Head on third, Mulling on second. That's low. 1-0. To Ballard. Just inside. 2-0. Ballard trying to drive in a few for the Vikes. Two-0 pitch to Ballard. Low 3-0. First base is open, but base is loaded for Preston Lund. Does not seem like a fun at bat. Lund is 1 for 1 with a walk today. Three and 0 to Ballard. Take a breaking ball on 3-0. It's rare that you see one on 2-0. It's even more rare that you see one on 3-0. So even if Ballard was swinging, I doubt he would have expected that. 3-1 now. Ballard will swing away. He won't on that pitch. That one's in the dirt. It's ball 4. His second walk of the day sends Preston Lund to the dish with the bases juiced. 1 out in the third.
Number 10, Preston Lund.
Lund singled to right over the head of Evan Dwyer. That was last inning. That's in the dirt. Good block by Kwasnicka. Any ball that gets away from Kwasnicka head will likely take off. Even if it just scoots 5 feet away, that could be enough. You never know. A ball and no strikes is a count to head. Excuse me, is a count to Lund. He'll take strike 1. One. Inside. 2-1. That was a back foot breaking ball that Lund moved his back foot out of the way of. If he hadn't, it might have just hit off the top of his shoe. But he's still at bat with a 2-1 count on him. Here's a pitch from Davis. Strike 2 on the outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two and 2. Strike 3. Lund goes down looking for the second out of the third inning. Sends Isaiah White to the plate. Base is loaded and 1 out. White has singled twice today, once to left, once to right. One scored a run in the first. He came around to score in the second. That's above the zone. 1-0. Calling no strikes to White. He'll swing through a fastball from Davis. 1-1. Count is even, a ball and a strike to White. Tips it foul, 1-2. So now Davis just one strike away from getting out of this bases loaded, 1-out jam. He was able to strike out Lund for the second out. Can he strike out White for the third? Vikings do already have a run scored in this inning, but they would love to add more. 1-2. It's low, good hold by White. 2-2 now. Can Isaiah White come through clutch for the Vikes right here? 2-2. Fouls it back, still 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the bottom of the third. Breaking ball, just foul. Denty was able to put a glove on it, but it was a few feet in foul territory. Still 2-2. Big spot right here for Isaiah. 2-2. Just off the plate. Kwasnicka thought it was strike 3. Davis thought it was too. Count is full now, so the base runners will get a head start. Full count, 2 outs. Bases loaded in the third. Full count. Runners take off. Swing and a miss. White strikes out to end the third. The Vikings do get one. And after 3, they are still up 7-5. Nico Bilgi back out on the hill for the Vikes. He'll face the man who started the third inning. A 4-run third inning for the Spartans. Lloyd Mills. He reached base on an error by Jacob Gunn. I'll take ball 1 from Bilgi. Bilgie's working so quickly that the umpire has to tell him to slow down. He still had his hand up by the time Bilgie was in his windup. Mills skies one on the infield. Tate will call for it, and he'll make the catch for the first out of the third. Getting the first out of each inning has been a big thing for Bilgie, and he got the first out in the first, and it was a 4-batter top of the first.
Kevin Denty.
Kevin Denty singled in the third. He'll swing and miss at that Bilgie fastball. It was a single that Mulling was able to dive and knock down at second base, but wasn't able to make the play. 0-1 pitch in the dirt, 1-1. Denty also lined to center field for his first at-bat of the day. That was in the first. He'll fly one foul. Strike two. A ball and 2 strikes to Denty. Bilgie looking to retire him for the second out of the fourth. That's low. Ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Breaking ball, strike 3 looking. Denty goes down on strikes for the second out of the fourth. And Jonah Weathers will come to the plate. 2 outs and nobody on in the fourth. Weathers is 0 for 2. 1, 2, 3, fourth inning would be big right here for the Vikings. Good for momentum. That's up and in. Ball 1. Breaking ball inside corner, strike 1. Weathers was hit by a pitch, supposedly, last time, but home plate umpire said he leaned into it. He later struck out on the very next pitch. So, it's a pretty funny scene to see all the Marian people and their reaction. It's 2-1. Chopped foul and into the Vikings dugout. 2-2 now. One strike away from a 1-2-3 top of the fourth. Here's the pitch from Bilgie. Jam shot, foul out of play. Still 2-2. Bilgie 1 strike away. Can he do it? It's in the dirt. 3-2 now. Full count, 2 outs to Weathers. Here's the pitch from Bilgie. Lined, foul into left field. Still full. Here's a pitch. Swing and a miss. Bilgie strikes out Denty and Weathers to end the fourth inning. And through 4, the Vikings hold a 2-run lead. Elijah Rainey, the first baseman, will lead things off in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Vikings have scored in each of the first 3. They scored 2 in the first, 4 in the second, only got 1 in the third. Rainey was part of that 4-run second inning. He had an RBI single to left for his last time up. We'll see strike 1 on a breaking ball from Josh Davis, 0-1. Another breaking ball, just out, 1-1. Rainey struck out in the first, but that was against starter Mitchell Stanton. That's up and out, 2-1 now. Two balls, 1 strike. Rainey smokes 1 foul. 2-2 now. Two balls, 2 strikes. Here's a pitch to Rainey. It's in the dirt, good hold. 3-2 now. Three balls, 2 strikes to lead off the 4th. Rainey swings through a fastball, strikes out for the 2nd time today. And it will send Josh Moore to the plate with nobody on and 1 out. Moore is 0 for 2 today. He flied to center to end the 2nd inning, his last time up. First pitch to Moore. Low and out. 1-0 is the count to Moore. Swing and a miss. 1-1. It's on the outside corner, strike 2. Moore thought about it, ended up not swinging. It was a good spot by Davis. Has him ahead 1-2. Moore pokes one out into shallow right. Dwyer going out, and Weathers will call for it, and he'll make the play for the 2nd out of the 4th inning.
Number 8, Nico Bilge.
Starting pitcher Nico Bilge comes to the plate. He started the 3rd inning with a dropped third that he reached base on. He came around to score the only run of the Vikings' 3rd inning. Well, he didn't score. His courtesy runner did, Chris Webb. It's outside, ball 1. One and 0 to Bilge. Strike 1 on the outside 3rd. Evens things at a ball and a strike. 1-1. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. 1-2 now. So Davis trying to answer Bilge's 1-2-3 top of the 4th with a 1-2-3 bottom of the 4th of his own. That one's lined right to Mangano at short, and it's a 1-2-3 4th inning for both sides. And we are through 4 with the Vikings still holding a 7-5 lead. we got a new pitcher in the game for the Vikings, relieving Nico Bilgi. It's going to be the righty Jack Barry. Bilgi went 4 pretty good innings, allowed 5 runs. Only 3 of them were earned. But Barry will come in and face the 5, 6, 7 hitters in the Spartans lineup, starting with Justin Hart, who singled up the middle his last at-bat. He's 1 for 2 with a ground out today. First pitch from Barry. Slow overhand curveball just inside, 1-0. And since Nico Bilgi was in the batting lineup, the Vikings have now lost their DH, so Jack Barry, a pitcher, will have to hit for himself. Slider on the outside corner, strike 1. Barry has not had an at-bat all season, so things will be interesting to see if Bilgi's spot in the lineup comes up again this game. Another breaking ball just off the plate. 2-1 now. One pitch to Hart. Outside corner, strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two from Barry. Slider. That Hart skies into left field. Head calling for it. He'll call off Isaiah White. White called for it first, but then Head said, no, I'll take it myself. I want it. It's very similar to, if you are familiar with Eloy Jimenez and Luis Robert of the Chicago White Sox. Luis Robert likes to take fly balls from him in left field. He likes to run over and make the catch in front of him. That's pretty similar to what Head and Isaiah White just did. Fastball from Barry gets ahead of Nick Mangano, 0-1. Mangano tripled down the left field line, scoring 2 for the Spartans. Breaking ball, low and away, 1-1. Off the plate, 2-1. Two-one pitch from Barry. Grounded right into Jacob Gunn's glove. He'll try and throw out Mangano. Look at the play by Jacob Gunn. A diving stop on a one-hop rocket. And there's 2 outs in the 5th. It's 7 in a row retired. 6 in a row retired by Vikings pitching. A.J. Kwasnicka represents the 7th hitter that Barry can retire. It's grounded into the hole between Tate and Gunn. And it's a 2-out single for Kwasnicka. He's reached base all 3 times today.
Number 18, Evan Dwyer.
Evan Dwyer, the first baseman, grounded to second base for his last at-bat. First pitch from Barry. Pickoff attempt. Nothing. Another pickoff attempt. Good move by Barry. Almost had him. Dwyer has still yet to see a pitch. Now we'll see one. It's a slider just off the plate for ball 1. Very good spot by Barry. Just a tad bit off the plate. 1-0. It's in the dirt. Good block by Moore. It's 2-0 now. 2-0 to Dwyer. Barry trying to get out of this 5th inning unscathed. Trying to work around a 2-out single. Slider. Throw from Moore. Not in time. So now Dwyer will have a runner in scoring position. Two and one to Dwyer. Two one. Fouled back right at the camera. How about that one? So now 2 balls, 2 strikes to Dwyer. Barry 1 pitch away from getting out of this top of the 5th. Swing and a miss. Dwyer goes down on strikes, and it ends the top of the 5th. The Spartans strand yet another runner, and we'll go to the bottom of the 5th with the same score as it was at the top of the 4th, 7-5 Vikings. Rob Tate, the 9-hole hitter in the Vikings lineup, will start things in this bottom of the 5th inning. Tate is 0 for 2 today. He struck out in the 3rd inning. He'll face Josh Davis, the reliever. He'll see strike 1 from Davis. Davis relieved Mitchell Stanton in the 2nd inning. He's been fairly good since then. That's off the plate. 1-1. Tate trying to give Dylan Head a runner on base for his at-bat. He's halfway to a walk. 2-1 now. Swing and a miss. 2-2 now. Tate in a bit of a slump right now. That's up and out. Now it's full. A walk can help you break out of a slump. Just shows that you're seeing the ball better. Full count pitch to Tate. It's off the plate. It's ball 4, and it's a leadoff walk for Rob Tate. The top of the lineup is now up in Dylan Head, who is 3 for 3 today with 3 singles. 2 of them have been to right field. 1 has been to center. And if you didn't know already, all 3 of them were hard hit. Came around to score twice on the first 2 singles. He also stole 3 bases. He's got 30 on the year now. 6 shy of setting a new school record. That's outside, ball 1. Some insurance runs right here will be very nice for the Vikings. Breaking ball popped up, and it will drift out of play. Ball on a strike. Does it count? One from Davis is a pickoff move. Tate was able to read it well. He was already heading back towards the base before Davis let go of the baseball. One and one. Head pops it up on the infield, a mile in the sky. Engel calling for it, and he'll make the catch. That's the first time Head is retired today. Corey Mulling has yet to be retired also. He's 1 for 1 with 2 walks today. He doubled to left his last time up. Scored twice and knocked in a run. He's got Rob Tate on first with 1 out in the 5th. Another pickoff attempt. Tate reads it and is back. First pitch to Mulling. In the dirt. Ball 1. One 0 to Mulling. Breaking ball on the outside corner. 1-1 now. Another pickoff move. Tate dives into first. A ball and a strike to Mulling. And now he'll see a pitch. He'll see a strike on the outside corner. Davis is doing a good job of peppering that outside corner to righties, inside corner to lefties. That's his arm side. So Mulling's going to have to take it to right or right center field. 1-2. Tate takes off. Mulling pops it up. And it is caught by Dwyer, and Tate is going to be doubled off. It ends the 5th inning. So we are through 5, and the score is still 7-5. Jack Berry back out on the hill for the Vikings. He'll face the bottom hitter in the Spartans lineup, Parker Engel. And then the lineup will turn over to the top in Ezra Essex. Engel has reached base twice today, once was a single to left field, scoring a run in the second. He was then hit by pitch in the third. First pitch from Barry. Engel squares bunt. Fouls it back. 0-1. These two were travel baseball teammates over the summer. So they've faced each other in live at-bats a few times. And Engel knows how Barry pitches. Swing and a miss at a fastball, 0-2. And I know that because I was also a travel baseball teammate of those two. I hope Barry comes out on top right here. And he does. Makes Engel look silly for Barry's second strikeout of the day and the first out of the sixth.
Number 1, Ezra.
Top of the lineup in Ezra Essex. Now up. Essex is 0 for 3 with 3 Ks today, so not his best appearance. He squares bunt. He pops it. Foul down the first base line. So Barry is ahead in the count, 0-1 to Essex. Another foul ball, 0-2. Barry ahead in the count, 0-2 to Essex. Essex trying to avoid his 4th K of the day. He's dangerously close to it. Oh-2. Fouled into the Vikings dugout. Good grab by Evan Nieder with his left hand, and then throws a one-hop dart to Jack Barry. Staying active while on the bench. Nieder was a starter yesterday against Lincoln Way East. 0-2. Jam shot to Gunn at third. He's going to have to hustle his throw. Long throw, and it pulls Rainey off the base, and it gets away from Rainey. Thankfully, Essex is able to stay at first base. It's a one-out base runner for the Spartans, however. It's likely going to be a single for Essex because it would have been a tough play for Gunn. It essentially was a swinging bunt. So he's aboard for the first time today.
Lloyd Mills.
First pitch to Lloyd Mills, the left fielder, is a pickoff attempt. Essex able to dive in safely at first. Mills popped to short his last time up. Another pickoff attempt. If Rainey had slapped the tag on Essex, he might have gotten him, but he didn't. So Essex remains at first. First pitch to Mills. It's a slider that Mills backed off the plate from. Broke in over the plate, however. 0-1. Ground ball double play is definitely in the equation for the Vikings. Another pickoff attempt. Nothing at first. Oh, 0-1 to Mills. Lined into left field. White started in. He's going to have to go back on it, and it goes over his head. A bad jump for Isaiah White, and Essex is going to be waved around third. The throw is going to be cut off by Mulling, and it's an RBI triple for Lloyd Mills, and the tying run is on third base. A bad read by Isaiah White plates the 6th run of the Spartans' day. Kevin Denty is 1 for 3 today. He struck out looking in the 4th against Nico Bilgi, the starter. Denty takes ball 1 low. One and 0 is a count. Here's a pitch from Barry. In the dirt yet again. 2 and 0. Barry needs a strike right here. He'll get a strike. 2 and 1 now. Two balls, 1 strike is a count to Denty. That's up and out with a fastball. 3 and 1. First base is open, so if Barry wants to set up the inning-ending double play, he can. Jonah Weathers, who is 0 for 3, is on deck. Three-one to Denty. It's lined into center field, head racing over. That's likely going to tag. Mills is going to tag, and he's going to score. So the ball game is tied at 7.
Number 5, Jonah Weathers.
Jonah Weathers, the right fielder, has struck out twice and lined to short. He is the only hitter so far that has not faced Jack Barry. He struck out against Nico Bilgi to end the 4th, and he's going to be aboard with a bunt single. Jacob Gunn was playing too far back at 3rd.
Number 24, Justin Hart.
Justin Hart, the DH, is 1 for 3 today with a single to center field. He flied to center his last time up. Ball is smoked out into left center field. Head racing over. And Head will call off White to make the 3rd out of the 6th inning. But the Spartans do get 2 and only 2. So we'll go to the bottom half of the 6th. Tied 7-7. Vikings looking to respond to a 2-run top of the 6th inning for the Spartans. They'll start things with their 3-hole hitter, Jason Ballard. Ballard's been aboard twice, 2 walks and a fly ball to right field. He'll face Josh Davis. Davis back out on the mound for the Spartans. He's been good out in relief. That one is smoked into center field. It's going to be a leadoff base hit for Jason Ballard on the first pitch. Preston Lund comes to the plate now. He struck out in the third, but he's reached base twice, once via the walk and once via the single. His single was a little jam shot over the head of first baseman Evan Dwyer. It scored a run for the Vikings. Lund came around to score himself. On a pickoff attempt, Ballard read it and was able to dive back to first base. Davis stepped off. First pitch to Lund is another pickoff attempt. Ballard isn't exactly getting the biggest leads over there at first, but it's enough to make Davis want to check in on him. Now Lund will see a pitch. He'll see a breaking ball. Too high. Ball 1. That's ball 2. It's above the zone. And after Jason Ballard's leadoff single, and now 2 balls to Preston Lund, A.J. Kwasnicka, the catcher, will come out and talk things over with Davis. And the bullpen for Marian Catholic will also get ready. They'll send 2 pitchers down to get loose. We'll see if either of them come into the ball game. Davis hasn't exactly been solid to start the 6th. Lund skies one high in the air, and it will drift well foul and out of play. If Lund straightens that out, that could be a 2-run home run. But it's 2-1. Lund looking to follow Ballard's leadoff base hit with a knock of his own. Takes ball 3, low and away. A walk is as good as a hit right here. It advances Ballard into scoring position. (3-1) is a count. Here's a pitch from Davis. Lund skies one into center field. Essex a few steps over, and he'll make the catch to retire Lund. Left fielder Isaiah White comes to the plate. White is 2 for 3 with 2 singles today. He's got an RBI and a run scored. In his last at bat, he struck out to end the 3rd against Davis. Ballard takes off first pitch. White squares bunt. It's in the dirt. He pulls back. Ballard takes second. So now, go-ahead run is in scoring position, and the double play is not in order for the Spartans. One and 0 to White. Grounds one. Past the dive of Mangano, and here comes Ballard. The throw from Mills is going to be not in time. Ballard scores and the Vikings take an 8-7 lead. Isaiah White comes through clutch. And an RBI single plates Jason Ballard. White advances to second on the throw. And Elijah Rainey, who is 1 for 3 today, will try and drive him in.
Number 4, Elijah Rainey.
First pitch to Elijah Rainey. It's low. Ball 1. That will send Marian pitching coach out of the dugout. Might be just giving those bullpen arms time to warm up. So now, with the Vikings up a run, they need just 3 outs in the top of the 7th. But they would like to have more than just a 1-run lead. Isaiah White delivered the go-ahead base knock. And Elijah Rainey's going to look to follow him with a base knock of his own. Rainey struck out his last time up against Davis. One and 0 is the count to Rainey. He smokes one out into left field. Mills going back on it. It'll get over his head. White will score easily, and Elijah Rainey follows Isaiah White, an RBI double, and the Vikings have a 2-run lead now. Chris Webb will pinch hit for Josh Moore. Moore was 0 for 3 today. And just like that, that knocks out Josh Davis. He'll depart. And we'll have a new pitcher coming into the game. He'll inherit Elijah Rainey on second base, and he'll face Chris Webb when we come back. New pitcher in the game for the Marian Catholic Spartans is going to be Matthew Gonzalez. He'll face pinch hitter Chris Webb with Elijah Rainey on second base and 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. Jack Barry has grabbed a bat, and he will go to the on-deck circle. So he's going to bat for himself. Webb sees strike one on the outside corner from Gonzalez. Barry does not have an at-bat so far this year. He is a PO, or a pitcher only, so he does not hit. 0-1 to Chris. Swings and misses, then it gets away from Kwasnicka. So Rainey will move up 90 feet, and he is a ground ball away from scoring. So now all Webb has to do is put a ball in play. And Rainey will hopefully score. But he's behind in the count 0-2. How cool would it be if Jack Barry drives in a run in his first at-bat, giving himself an insurance run? I don't think Barry has swung a bat in at least 8 months. It's roped foul down the left field line, just barely. I think Barry's only at-bats have come in travel season where they're either up by a lot or down by a lot. But he is not a regular hitter. Still 0-2 to Webb. That's in the dirt, ball one. One and two, and Webb calls time. Here's a 1-2 from Gonzalez. Webb ropes one off Denty's glove, and it's going to be an RBI single for Chris Webb. And the Vikings lead is now 3. And now you see Parker Engel giving Matthew Gonzalez some words of advice, because Engel knows that Barry is a pitcher. He is not going to hit it too hard. But Barry's going to stand up there, do the best he can, pickoff attempt, and it gets away. Webb is going to be held up at second. So now a runner in scoring position for Jack Barry. If Jack Barry drives in Chris Webb, I don't think the Vikings dugout is going to be able to contain themselves. They can already barely do that as it stands currently. Gonzalez steps off. He's nervous of the force that's in the batter's box right now. First pitch to Barry, squares bunt. Pulls back on a ball that was upstairs. It's 1-0. So now it telegraphs to the Spartans what Barry was trying to do. 1-0 to Barry. He squares around yet again, pulls back. That's low and away. Ball 2. Two 2-0 to Barry. All Gonzalez has to do is just throw a strike. Barry is not going to swing. He squares bunt, gets it down, and it's a great one. Gonzalez is up with it, and he's going to throw. Barry's safe at first. Jack Barry bunts for a hit. Dwyer dropped the ball, but I think Barry beat it anyway. And runners on the corners now for Rob Tate. Jack Barry is batting 1,000 on the year. And now he will be courtesy ran for by Bennett Reich. And that is a pretty good story of how the game's going so far for the Vikings. You can see Barry smiling from up here. And the Vikings are out of the dugout to greet him. And they're mobbing him out there. That's always fun to see when a pitcher hits and does something productive.
Number 2, Robert.
So now Rob Tate is up to bat with runners on the corners and 1 out. Tate is 0 for 2 with a walk today. Reich takes off. Here's a throw from Kwasnicka. It is in time to get Reich, but a run does score, and it's a 4-run lead for the Vikings. So Bennett Reich did his job. He got the run across. Chris Webb scored from third. And 2 outs in the inning now for Tate. Here's the pitch from Gonzalez. Strike on the outside corner. Tate swings and misses. 1-2 now. Tate trying to turn things over. Oh no, apparently it was strike 3. That pitch that Reich was thrown out on was a strike, but either way, Vikings score 4 in the bottom of the 6th inning, and they hold a 4-run lead over the Marian Catholic Spartans. They need just 3 outs to end it. Jack Berry will try and get those 3 outs. Top of the 7th inning, last call for the Spartans. They needed 4 to tie, 5 at least to take the lead. They'll start things with Nick Mangano, the shortstop. He's 1 for 3 today with a triple down the left field line. Had scored 2 at the time. Barry will start him with a curveball just outside for ball 1. Barry will face the 6, 7, 8 hitters in the Spartans lineup. Ground ball right to Jacob Gunn. He's up with it, and he'll throw to Elijah Rainey for the first out of the 7th. Jacob Gunn is a vacuum over there today. He's only missed 1 ball, but it was a hard hit ball that he was able to get a glove on, but couldn't make the play. A.J. Kwasnicka has reached base all 3 times today. He's singled to left field his last time up against Barry. He'll see strike 1 from Jack. He singled in the 2nd and reached base on a drop third strike in the 3rd. Oh, 1 that Kwasnicka comes up empty at. Wave and a miss, and he's spun around. Very ugly swing right there from Kwasnicka. 0-2. Barry put a little bit extra on that fastball. 1-2. Ball and 2 strikes to Kwasnicka. 1-2. Chopped to Gunn again. He's up with it, and he will make the second play of the seventh inning. 2 ground balls to Gunn at third base are the first 2 outs of the 7th. Do I hear a third one? Well, probably not, with Evan Dwyer coming to the plate. Dwyer is a lefty, so he's probably going to be out in front of everything Jack throws. Dwyer did strike out in the 5th against Barry. And he's a third of the way there right now. 0-1. From Barry. In the dirt. Count is even. 1-1 now. Dwyer sends one out into shallow center field. Head racing in on it. He'll dive. Did he make the catch? Yes, he did. Dylan Head ends it with a diving catch in center field. And the HF Vikings claim an 11-7 victory over the Marian Catholic Spartans. HF moves to 18-15 on the year. Marian Catholic moves to 15-16. The next Vikings game will be on Saturday. We don't know who yet or what time. As soon as we find out, we will put a tweet out. We will post on Instagram. We will let you know when the next game is, but it will be on Saturday, this upcoming Saturday. It is the tournament game of the Do It Stevie's Way tournament. The Vikings have advanced, at least we're pretty sure of it. We needed to win by 2, and we won by 4. So the Vikings win in 7 innings, a 4-run bottom of the 6th, sealed it. It gave the Vikings the run support they needed to beat Marian Catholic. And for everybody here at the HF Viking baseball program, I'm Dylan Barnes. Have a great night, everybody.